It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, Black Lives Matter has no chance if you feel are for white privilege too. Get away from white privilege. Black Lives Matter has no chance if you feel are for white privilege too. Get away from white privilege. Wow. White privilege. This is a very, very interesting perspective from an organization like a Black Lives Matter. Here's my response. White privilege. You're enacting the word white privilege, insinuating that whites have some kind of special privilege that is making black people suffer from what it is that you are targeting, and that's the justice system. So you're saying that the white privilege is permeating through the justice system. And I'm for white privilege, so Black Lives Matter doesn't stand a chance of, I guess, for you to point out me to be against you. I'm going to be convinced it's a bowel movement, because the only black privilege you're implementing is the privilege to perpetuate a lie in order to gain some kind of special treatment. If you get your movement founded on the truth, you might have a shot. But here's the deal. Here's how I'm going to address your white privilege argument. Seems how you're not speaking about the white privilege of white people chopping up babies in the womb in abortion clinics. I'm trying to figure out, what do you mean by white privilege? And I think I figured it out. The reason why Black Lives Matter is implementing this white privilege argument is because they want the privilege to continue committing crimes and be held accountable for the crimes at a white privilege level. See, you won't address black lives that are being taken by other black lives. You won't address that at all. And if somebody says all lives matter, you deem them racist. Why? Because you're taking some kind of special thing away from the black lives that you're pushing. The only black lives that matter to you are the black lives that are committing crimes. So you're using white privilege to fight for criminal privilege. And since your movement is so full of crap, which I classify it as a bowel movement, you have our preachers and people advocating for our young people to commit crimes and be held to account at a white privilege level. So where you commit a crime and get shot and killed, you want to be shot and wounded at a white privilege level. Where you get shot and the white person gets tased, you're arguing for committing the crime and only getting tased for it. Where you get pulled over and put in jail for 6 months and the so-called white privilege only gets 6 weeks. You still want to commit the crime, you just want to be punished at a white privilege level. See, black lives don't matter to you, because if they did, you would understand, why do you want to be a criminal in the first place? See, you're fighting the justice system because of punishment. I'm coming from the standpoint of, why do you want to commit crimes anyway? The crime being perpetuated on your community, you don't want to speak about it. You only want to address white privilege so that you can get away with your crime. You want criminal privilege. And I don't think our country should be into giving any criminal any privilege. But more so, we should be trying to inspire our young people to not commit crimes, period. If this justice system is as wicked as you say, why are you playing with it? If it's stinging you at an unfair level, why are you poking the beehive? Why don't you get a permit to sell your CDs so that the criminal justice system doesn't have to talk to you, period? You want to drive with no driver's license and no insurance. You want to be able to commit that crime, and you don't want to be held accountable for it. Why would I participate in a movement that has that kind of ridiculous thought process behind it? See, you want to run up and down the street and be able to cuss the police out. It's a crime. Why are you advocating, or more so propelling yourself into a criminal element? Why are you preachers out here supporting these people that want to commit crimes or commit sins and don't want to be held accountable for it, when you preachers know better that the wages of sin is death? You're supporting a bowel movement. It's full of crap. The argument, the foundation of it was a lie. It's built on a lie. It's not a tall, strong building. It's the leaning tower of ridiculousness. And you want to shut down streets, shut down traffic. You want to get the ears of mayors and congressmen and council people. Why? So that you can still commit your crimes and not get your ass slapped for it. I want to be treated like a white person. I want to be treated fairly. I want to be able to smoke my weed and do illegal acts and get the punishment of you white people. I want crime privilege, like white people got. But you don't want, but just change the title of your name and I think everything will be fine. Get rid of the Black Lives Matter because they don't mean crap to you. Black lives don't matter to you. Black people can keep killing black people at the record levels that they are, and you will not march not one moment. Black lives don't matter to you people. Your criminal lives matter. You're fighting to be a criminal and not be held unfairly accountable. I can only agree with it if you admit that you're fighting for criminal activities, because I will be right there with you. Why are you giving these criminals unfair sentences? Unfair justice. My thing is this: before I go march with you, can I at least talk you into not wanting to be a criminal? How does wanting and desiring to be a criminal, how is that going to work out? Stop being a criminal, then go fight for the other people and get them to stop being criminals, and then we can address the criminal justice system. But as long as your name is Black Lives Matter, and you do not go into your own communities and share with those black lives and get them to matter, where they're killing each other at record-breaking numbers. And if you can't go address the white privilege that them white people chopping up babies in abortion clinics are doing, those are white people chopping up white, black, brown people, period. All lives should matter. Because right now your movement has a misguided understanding of law enforcement to the point to where now black people think they can freely run around here and ambush police. It's not going to end well. The reason why you're going through so much crap, because your movement was built on a lie. It was built on crap. So you have a bowel movement. And as long as you have a bowel movement fighting for criminal activities to be treated with white privilege, hey man, march on. March on. We have all year round March Madness. And our preachers, I'm so disappointed in our ministers. You're marching so that our young people can commit crimes and be just treated at a fair level, when the wages of sin is death. They're poking the beehive and they're getting stung by it. And they're asking the bees to not sting us as much. Sting us like you do white people. We want criminal privilege, and we're using white privilege to get it. Man, I'm Phil Williams. That's my response to a tweet on the Phil Williams Show.